got 5 takeaways from Niners camp. First takeaway, a couple things are going to have to happen for them to continue to compete for championships at this level for right now. Number one, they're going to need a lot of young players to develop. Number two, they're going to have to stay healthy. Those are 2 huge keys to the 2025 season. Takeaway number 2, those top line veteran players have all come into camp in great shape. And so you can be optimistic about the biggest stars in the Niners having big years. Nick Bosa's Nick Bosa. Christian McCaffrey looks like he's benefited from not taking on a full workload last year. Obviously, that was injury related, but he's come back and looked fresh. They got fingers crossed on him. Obviously, the track record isn't great for running backs of his age, but he's different in the way that he handles his business. George Kittle, somebody told me affectionately that he's playing like he's got a rocket up his ass. And Trent Williams has come into camp in the best shape he's come into camp in a while. Takeaway number 3, maybe the biggest acquisition of the offseason for the Niners, new defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. And he'd be a huge pickup regardless, just because of how good a defensive coach he is. But he's going to be really important because of the amount of young guys that are going to play on defense. And because he was here to lay the foundation for what they've become under Kyle Shanahan starting in 2017, he's going to be able to pull on that institutional knowledge and try and lay that foundation again. If the Niners defense winds up becoming a top half of the league defense, it's going to be because those guys really develop. And if they play like a top 10 defense by the end of the year, that'll mean Saleh has knocked it out of the park. So Robert Saleh's return here as defensive coordinator, probably the biggest acquisition the team had in the 2025 offseason. Takeaway number 4, there are some guys that have developed and look like they're going to be able to give you some depth that you can be optimistic about. Keep an eye on Jacob Cowing. He's a really compact, speedy slot type of weapon. I think they're going to be able to do some interesting things with him. He came back, had a really strong spring. He's been a little nicked up early in camp, but Jacob Cowing is one name to watch as a depth piece that could really help the Niners. And then another guy is Jordan James, who's their 5th round running back out of Oregon. Again, not a huge guy, like a strong, compact build, and he runs violently. And anybody who watched him play at Oregon, a lot of the stuff that he was doing at Oregon translates over, and that's huge because the Niners are going to have to manage McCaffrey through the year. A running back of that age, you don't want to have him carrying the ball on every play. They lose Jordan Mason to the Vikings, so they need help from a depth standpoint. Jordan James could really help them in that area. Finally, takeaway number 5. I think Brock Purdy's locked in. I think Brock Purdy's going to have a really nice year. It's interesting looking at where Brock Purdy is because going into this year, now making $55 million a year, he's moved from the category of the quarterback on the rookie contract that allows the team to build aggressively to now being the quarterback on the big contract who's going to have to help make up for some of the things that his team might be missing as a result of the financial realities that come with signing a quarterback at that level. Generally, there's a little bit of a grace period for quarterbacks when it comes to that. Generally, teams can manage it, so there's a 1 or a 2 year grace period before they really have to lean into it. It's happening faster for the Niners. I talked to Brock Purdy after practice. He's accepting of this, and he thinks that he went through a period last year where he was trying to do too much. They did a lot of work on that with him. And so how Brock Purdy plays, needing to be the leader of the offense and needing to help with some of the younger players that they're going to be bringing along, I think it's going to be a really important element to their season.